Hey y'all, it's your thrifty practitioner Tara. How are you guys doing? I hope this video finds you well when you receive it. This video is going to be a little different than what I normally do. It is one in a series of videos that I would like to put out to encourage individuals to budget, to work on stressing the importance of budgeting and how budgeting can help you get your small business, which is yourself, together. And so I want to start off with why I budget as a high income earner and what makes me a high income earner. So actually what makes my household a high income earning household. So according to the IRS, high income earning households are households who have positive income before tax. And what that is after all of your deductions, after all that, before they slap you with the tax, it's $200,000 or more. Now, outside sources are going to tell you it is people that are in the 1%. And the 1% of high earners are those that have a net of $600,000 or more. And so we're going to go with the IRS. The reason why we're going to go with the IRS because a lot of us actually fall into that category and we don't realize it. Now, I know some of you that are watching this video are like, oh no, I don't fall into that category. I totally understand. I really am pushing for high income earners, high income households to budget or at least monitor their money better so that they're not contributing to the waste or just throwing the money away. Especially for younger people, because younger people tend to think that, hey, some younger people, but a lot of y'all are like a lot more smarter though now. You know, I'm in my 50s. So there's a lot of stuff that your parents probably taught you and stressed to you to do that's really great. You know, investing in the company 401k or doing outside investments and stuff like that. So that's really good. So you're learning, but you're also still a high earner and there's other implications to it and things that a budget really helps you out with. You may sway a little bit monthly, but at the same time, at least the budget can grasp you to come back and say, okay, I need to reel myself in. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to get started. I'm going to start with my fifth reason as to why I budget, and I am going to utilize the paper that you just saw. So my fifth reason, starting with the fifth reason, I budget because I wanted to become more disciplined with managing my money. Whether you want to believe it or not, you as an individual who goes out and works on a daily basis, no matter what you do, you are a brand, you are a product, and you are a company. You are a small business, and you get paid for your services. And the services that you provide, you know, whether it's supposed to be good, but those services are what gets you that income you earn. And so when you get that money, your goal is to utilize it the best you can in regards to the resources that you need, even sometimes to splurge. So just like people want bonuses from the company when the company has more, a little extra income, you know, the same thing for yourself. That's where you splurge on the things that you would like. After you take care of the necessary resources that need to be paid or need to be paid down or whatever it is. And so that's how I look at myself is now as a small business. And managing my money before, I was just out here doing what normal people do that are high income earners. It's like, we're just out here just throwing money around, getting stuff, doing stuff. My thing was vacations. I would go on at least 3 or 4 a year, maybe 2 by myself, 2 with the family. And my husband is a yes man, not good. Happy wife is not always a happy life when it comes to money. And I'm going to attest to that. And so I budgeted so that I could get disciplined in managing my money. I was not properly contributing to my savings, my retirement. I wasn't properly paying off my debt. It's not that my husband wasn't talking to me about it. It was just like, I was like, whatever. And it took for my daughter who did a savings challenge, and she is an RN. I'm a practitioner. She's an RN, and she has my 2 grandchildren, makes less money than me. And I was like, how is she going to do this $10,000 challenge? And I'm not. I make more money than her. And it just opened my eyes up to a whole world of, wow, I am like not managing my money properly. And so with that particular savings challenge, I was like, you know what? I want to get on a budget. I put myself on a budget because I need to manage my money. And what the budget has done since I've been on it, it has allowed me to properly allocate my money to my savings, to retirement, and also mainly paying off my debt. Because I had debt that should have been paid off. According to my income, it should have been paid off a long time ago, which is another reason why I want to encourage high income earners, because there's debt that we have that we shouldn't have. If we take the time just to manage our money appropriately, we can get it paid off, whether it's in a year, 2 years, it doesn't matter. Or a year or 2 years, probably. You can have it paid off. We shouldn't be running around with this extra debt, you know? Okay, so the next reason, which is reason number 4, because I said it's the countdown, is I wanted to organize and prioritize my money. Okay, so it wasn't just about how I was allocating my money. It was, where was my money, where was it going? My money, was it going to help pay off the bills? Was it going just on all these trips? Was I really buying stuff I didn't need, which I did find out, yeah, I did, because I had to do a Dave Ramsey where he said, you're going to sell everything in the house and the kids think they're next. So, it was like, wow, where is my money going? I didn't know. Now on my budget, especially my budget going forward, I started this with my October close budget. I have 9 categories. I do follow Dave Ramsey's 4 walls, which is housing, utilities, transportation, and groceries, because those are necessities. You need those, okay? So, but outside of that, I also have personal care, entertainment. There's another one, personal care, entertainment, miscellaneous, y'all, I know, savings and debt. Yes, savings and debt are an expense category for me because it makes me accountable for actually paying off any debt, paying towards debt, and also putting money into savings. Now, all this is post-tax income, post-deduction income, but still it helps me hold myself accountable for for proportioning or allocating my money over to those 2 areas as well. Another thing that I have in those categories are, y'all, I don't even know if I gave y'all all 9 of them, but whatever, I think I'm missing one. It doesn't matter, but I got it. Anyway, so another thing that I also have in those categories are subcategories. So for example, in utilities, I have 5 lines because utilities is made up of my electricity, my gas, my internet, my cell phone, okay? Same thing with housing. Housing is actually made up of my mortgage. However, sometimes starting in the summer, it's going to be my pool service. And the reason I do that, and I'll tell you, especially for groceries is the biggest one, because groceries actually includes my household. It includes includes household pets. It also includes dining out. And I understand that individuals want to say, no, dining out is entertainment. Dining out can be a form of entertainment, but it's taken away from your grocery money. It is taken away from your household. It's taken away from a necessity. So that's why I put it in that category. I put it there so that I understand when I'm looking at my total expense of groceries, and I'm like, man, that's kind of high. How did I spend my money for the month? Okay, I spent my money here. I spent this much in groceries, this much for household, and oh man, I went out a lot to eat. I need to taper that back in the next month, okay? And so if you say you go to an event and then you dine out for that, maybe you can kind of include that in entertainment because that was all part of that package. But if you're just eating out, you're getting Grubhub, which I don't do that stuff. That stuff is, unless you're getting a big order, it's not worth it. Unless you're like feeding a bunch of people or something like that. I just think that stuff is a waste of money and it's lazy. Y'all get on up and drive, walk and drive. That's why we fat now in the U.S. But anyway, it includes that. It includes any DoorDash, whatever you get, all of that goes under your groceries because you're taking money away from your groceries, okay? So in doing that, it has allowed me to see where I am spending majority of my money and actually to take a better look at those particular subcategories to say, is this something I should have done? Could I have budgeted for this better? Do I need a sinking fund for it? So that's what that has allowed me to do. It has allowed me to better organize and prioritize my money. Because like I said, sinking funds are a big thing that has helped me prioritize my money. For like the pool maintenance, we just paid it all when it occurred. Whereas now it's kind of like, it's nice not to have one lump sum come out at a time. Even though it's affordable, it's still nice to be able to replace it, replenish it, or if it went on the credit card, which a lot of things do now because that's how businesses work. It's nice to pay it off all and it not affect your regular income stream. So the third thing is to reduce wasteful spending. So I said I went on about 3 to 4 vacations a year. That's wasteful. That is very wasteful. And before I was a practitioner, I was a nurse as well, made really decent money and got really great time off. If you are a nurse, you know how this goes, because what you're able to do is set up your schedule to where you can front load your work and you can back load your work. And the next thing you know, you got a whole vacation. And so if you're working 3 days in a row, you have 7 to 10 days off, actually about 7 days off. And you don't even have to take your vacation time. So I was doing stuff like that so that I could take a vacation for myself. I was planning vacations. Y'all, one year we spent a lot. We actually could have went on a week-long island vacation for the amount that I had spent on 2 vacations within 6 months. And that should have been enough for me to say, hey, you need to grab a hold of this. And like I said, my husband's a really great guy. In that aspect that he is a yes man, and a yes man is not always good to your wife. Happy wife is not always a happy life when your money's out the window, okay? So what really helps me though, I'm sorry y'all, reduce that wasteful spending is my monthly process requires me to track all of my daily activity, my daily money activity. And it can be tedious. It can be very tedious. However, the nice thing about that is it also, for me, works into the process of me thinking about purchases before I make them. And so I just want to make sure I say to this. So as I call it, decision-making tool for non-essential purchases. So when I'm looking at purchasing, when I say non-essential, I love scrubs, y'all, but do I need all these scrubs? So while I'm sitting here on Amazon or I'm going out to one of the stores, I'm like, oh, I see this good scrub. And I love colorful scrubs too. Oh, wow, I want to get that. But it's kind of like, do I really need it? You know, what do I have in my closet? Am I utilizing the things in my closet? You know, it's not that I don't do things for myself. It's that it makes me more cognizant of how I am spending my money now, especially when you track your transactions, especially when you pay off your debt. So what I do is I track all the transactions in every account that I utilize or have access to that I am going to be making, say, like a payment to, that I am able to track stuff with. So that's going to be bank accounts, the house account, our mortgage, my investment accounts, my savings account. So even my credit card. So I even track the purchases on my credit card, which has made me a lot more mindful of utilizing my credit card. So yes, I do all that. I do a lot of tracking, and it's very beneficial because, like I said, it helps me out as well with decision making when it comes to making non-essential purchases. So now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of the last two. And they can actually be interchangeable. And it was very hard to decide which one should actually go first, be the first one. So the one that's number one, it just at the end just kind of, it plays back to the fifth one, but it encumbers all of it. So the second one is personal financial stability. Sometimes we spend our money and we don't know day to day what our financial position is. We don't quite understand what is going on in our bank account, and you have to look at it, or you forget that something's supposed to come out. You don't remember that this is the month that 6-month payment is due. Things like that. Things of those natures that create that instability in your mind about your money. Also, thinking constantly about what is my retirement going to look like? How is my retirement going to look? I'm going to have to work. until I'm this amount of age because I have to, not because I want to. So I can say this, that my mom, she is older. Of course, she's older than me, but she still works, and she works full time. And managing my money properly more than likely would have allowed her to at least work part-time, because I would have helped her out. And that's another thing we got to watch out too, is helping out family members for the sake of our own small business, us. But I would have helped her out a little more, or been able to help her out a little more. But at the same time, my mom is stubborn. She is a boomer. And I'm going to say that, a lot of the boomers are stubborn, and they're just like, no, I'm going to work. I'm fine. Some of it I know is for socialization, so that's good. But majority of it is so that she can continue to live and pay her bills. Now, if it ever came to the point that she needed to retire and come into this nice big old house that I have, no, she would rather stay down where she is and get a house at 75. So it's kind of crazy. So yeah, but for me, I don't want that for myself. When I retire, I do want to continue to work, because people are providers all the way up until they're like dead, but at least until their 80s, because it's a really great profession. I love helping people, but I don't want to work 5 days a week because I have to. Working 2 days a week is just fine. All right. So what is financial stability? What does it look like? It's the ability to meet current and future financial obligations, handle unexpected expenses, and pursue personal goals without compromising my financial security. And so that's the biggest thing. That's why I had to scale back on those vacations. I think I've gone on enough vacations to last a lifetime. That's why I'm like, if I retire, I don't need to travel the world, because I've already done a lot. It is nice to take a break, but I can take a break at home with a staycation just as much as I can go out somewhere and spend my money. I can stay in the U.S. because the U.S. is vast and big, and there's a lot of great things to see. I don't have to go out of the country. So things like that I can realize, to where if I want to do something, I spend less money, but I don't want to compromise my financial security, especially my future financial security, because eventually I am going to want to retire and I'm going to make less money. And so when you look at financial stability, how is it achieved? Well, I'm most definitely going to live within my means. A person can look and say, well, you're not living within your means now. I am now. And I have something that I like, and it's really nice, but I still live within my means. Okay. Also, saving for emergencies. Man, Dave Ramsey says that all the time. People get on him about his 7 baby steps, but I think that's because they take it to heart. They take it to heart. If you are a high earner, of course, $1,000 is probably not going to be enough, but you also should be able to look into your account, which is what I did when I started my budget, and say, okay, I can move this $20,000 over into a savings account. I don't need it there. It's useless. I don't know why it's sitting there anyway. I'm not making any money on it. So you can do that. That was just me saying that, okay, guys? But usually for high earners, that's what you can do. You don't have to. You shouldn't. If you have that much money sitting in your bank and you have to use it, then obviously you really need a budget, because there is something going on with your spending. But you should be able to have money for emergencies. All right. Pay off debt. One big thing I always say, like I just said, the high earners, we need to be paying off this debt. Why we got debt? If the IRS can take our money, we need to be paying off debt. All right. And also investing in our future. Investing in the future is not just investing in the, not just your retirement and stuff like that. It is also, say, your outside investments. If you want, because I don't want to, if you want real estate, I rather do the market, because I do pretty decent at monitoring the market, understanding the stocks, and I like commodities. So, that really helps me. But anywho, so pretty much that's what financial stability looks like. That's why a budget is very important, because it helps you get to that point of financial stability. It has to be both of you guys that are working towards it. When I budget, I don't include my husband's income. I include only my salary and the house and all of the bills, so I can understand what's going on in my house. But I'm the one that had the problem, so that's why I don't include him. However, we're both still on the same page. We're talking about it. Money can be a curse word in homes, but it shouldn't be, because both of you, if you have a partner, even if you have roommates, things should be open about certain expenses that you share and how it affects your future. So the number one reason that I decided to budget: accountability. I needed to hold myself accountable for what I was doing to myself and my future self. I was not doing myself nor my future self any good financially with the things that I was doing. Budgeting holds you accountable for your decisions, your choices, for why you didn't pay on something, why you paid something late, why you shouldn't have paid something late, why you shouldn't have not paid on something. Budgeting really holds you accountable for that. It holds me accountable for, like, recently I had a big income drop. I want to make it up, but budgeting has shown to me I don't need to make it up because I'm still doing okay. But I want to make it up. If I make it up, then what are you going to do with this money? That's accountability. You know, do I really want to take my time to work more? Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do all this other stuff. I'm going to actually get up and go work because I'm a high earner and I can go moonlight and make more money in a short amount of time. But do I want to do that? Do I want to give up all my time away from my grandkids? Look, I didn't say my kids or my husband, they get on my nerves. But time away from them as well, okay? But my grandkids, that's why I moved up here. So, you know, it holds me accountable for how I manage my business, which is me. My small business, which is me. Now, I did write on here is accountability is the ability to meet current and future financial obligations. Oh, nope. I did not fix that. Oh, I'm gonna have to change that. But basically, accountability, that's what it's for. Accountability is holding myself accountable for how I manage my money, where I allocate it to, what category it goes in, how I prioritize my money, okay, for my future stability. So that is the number one reason I started budgeting. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What are at least your top two reasons why you started budgeting, or why you should start budgeting, especially as a high earner. So, all right, guys, that is it for this video. I appreciate you watching it. I look forward to you actually viewing and watching the other videos that are going to be in this series. I'm going to just kind of pop them out throughout the month. And yeah, so don't forget, if you like this type of content, don't forget to comment below. Don't forget to, what's my fingers always say, like, share, subscribe, turn on those notification bells, and I'm going to see you in my next video.